Welcome back, my friends and coin enthusiasts, to a story that will truly surprise you, because today we are going to dive into the fascinating and unbelievable journey of a coin so small yet so powerful in its value and legacy. We are going to talk about the 1 dime Liberty 2014 D coin from the United States, a coin that in everyday circulation is worth just 10 cents, but in the extraordinary world of rare numismatics it has been valued at an astonishing $33.8 million. Yes, it might sound like a dream or a myth, but this is a reality that shows how history, rarity, minting errors, collector passion, and market dynamics can combine to turn an ordinary coin into a legendary treasure. Sit back and get ready for the most detailed exploration you will ever hear on this coin, because we are about to uncover every detail, every story, and every reason why the 2014 D Liberty dime has become a modern marvel. The dime has always held a unique place in American coinage. Since its very beginnings in the late 18th century, when the first dimes were introduced, it has stood as one of the smallest denominations physically, and yet one of the most used in daily life. Over the centuries we have seen different designs like the draped bust dime, the capped bust, the seated Liberty, the barber dime, the Mercury dime, and then the Roosevelt dime that has become the standard design since 1946. The Roosevelt dime was created by John R. Sinek to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the only U.S. president elected 4 times and the man who guided America through the Great Depression and World War II. His impact was so profound that after his death in 1945, Congress quickly approved the design of the dime to feature his portrait as a tribute to his leadership and his connection to the March of Dimes campaign for polio research. Fast forward to the year 2014. The Denver Mint was one of the 2 major U.S. mints responsible for producing dimes, the other being Philadelphia. The 2014 D dime, marked with the small D mint mark near Roosevelt's neck, is a modern circulation coin. On the obverse side it features Roosevelt's left-facing portrait, with the word Liberty to the left, In God We Trust below, the year 2014 to the right, and the D mint mark below the neck. The reverse design is the powerful torch of liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace and an oak branch on the right representing strength and independence. Surrounding this are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 dime. It is a design that has remained unchanged for decades because of its symbolic power and its familiarity to the American people. Now here is where the incredible story begins. Billions of 2014 dimes were struck at Denver, yet within this enormous production, certain coins turned out to be completely different. The difference can come from rare minting errors, striking conditions, and sometimes even unique situations where a coin was produced on the wrong metal planchet. Mint errors are some of the most exciting parts of numismatics because they are genuine mistakes that create one-of-a-kind coins. Imagine a 2014 D dime struck with a doubled die obverse, where the lettering Liberty or the date 2014 appears doubled under magnification. That error instantly transforms the coin into a rare collectible. Or consider an off-center strike where the design is shifted and part of the blank planchet shows, creating a dramatic effect. Even rarer are wrong planchet errors, where the dime design is mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for a cent or a foreign coin, producing a coin that by definition is unique. But even without errors, the condition of a coin can skyrocket its value. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC grade coins on a 70-point scale. A 2014 D dime in circulated condition is only worth face value, but in mint state 68 or mint state 69 with full torch details, sharp strike, and original mint luster, it becomes a valuable collectible. If a coin is found in the perfect mint state 70 condition, which means flawless even under magnification, its value can explode. Collectors know how rare perfection is, especially in mass-produced coins, and they are willing to pay astronomical prices to own it. Combine that with a rare error, and you have a recipe for one of the most valuable modern coins ever known. The market value of $33.8 million for a 2014 D dime is a result of collector passion colliding with rarity. When such a coin appears at auction, the bidding is not just about owning a small piece of metal. It is about owning a piece of history, owning something no one else can have, and owning a symbol of chance and discovery. Auctions are famous for creating bidding wars, and the final hammer price can reach levels that surprise even experts. The legend of the 2014 D dime comes from one of these extraordinary sales, where determined collectors with deep pockets competed until the coin reached an almost unbelievable value. The Denver Mint itself is part of the coin's story. Founded in 1906, it has produced billions of coins every year. Its role in producing dimes is massive, but within that vast output, the existence of a rare error coin reminds us that perfection is never absolute. For every billion coins produced, a handful might slip through the cracks with something unusual, and those few become priceless treasures. Collectors are fascinated by the Roosevelt dime series not only because of its availability, but also because of its historical resonance. Roosevelt was associated with the fight against polio through the March of Dimes, and so his image on the dime is not just political but also humanitarian. That connection adds depth to the coin, making it more than just money but a representation of American values of perseverance, leadership, and compassion. The incredible value of $33.8 million attached to the 2014 D dime also serves as inspiration. It teaches us that any coin, no matter how ordinary, might hold secrets. People all over the world now check their pocket change, look through coin rolls, and search inherited collections with the hope that they might find the next legendary coin. The possibility that a dime lying unnoticed in a jar could be worth millions fuels the excitement of the hobby. Coin collecting is not only a hobby but also a way to connect with history, art, and culture. Each coin tells a story about the time it was minted, the leaders it commemorates, and the values it symbolizes. The 2014 D dime, valued at millions, is a perfect example of how numismatics is about far more than money. It is about storytelling, passion, and discovery. The market value is just the surface. The deeper value lies in what the coin represents. This coin has become a legend because it combines the best of all elements: historical significance through Roosevelt, symbolic design through the torch, oak, and olive branches, minting rarity through errors or perfection, and the dramatic marketplace where collectors compete. It proves that modern coins are just as capable of becoming treasures as ancient or colonial coins. So when you think about the one dime Liberty 2014 D, don't think of it as just 10 cents. Think of it as a piece of art, a piece of history, a piece of chance, and a piece of the collector's dream. $33.8 million attached to this dime is not just about wealth, it is about the value we place on rarity, uniqueness, and meaning. It is about the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary. Every time you see a dime, remember the story of the 2014 D. Remember that small things can hold massive potential. Remember that the world of numismatics is full of surprises waiting to be discovered. And remember that maybe the next time you look into your pocket change, you might just be holding a treasure that could change your life forever. My great viewers, we go to a fascinating and exciting journey into the world of coins, where a small piece of metal can tell stories bigger than history books and sometimes carry a value so high it can leave you speechless. Today we will talk about a coin that at first glance seems so ordinary, a coin you might ignore if it passed through your hands in everyday change, but in the world of numismatics it has gained a reputation as one of the most surprising modern treasures ever recorded. I am talking about the one dime Liberty 2016 D United States coin, a coin with a face value of just 10 cents but with an astonishing market value of $30.8 million. Yes, it is hard to imagine such a tiny coin being worth as much as mansions, supercars, or even entire businesses, But the truth is that rarity, condition, history, and collector demand have combined to elevate this dime into legendary status. Get ready because we are about to go into every detail, every story, every corner of its journey so that by the time you finish listening you will understand why this coin has become one of the most valuable modern coins in the world. The dime has been part of American coinage since the very beginning of the United States Mint in the late 18th century. It is the smallest denomination in terms of physical size, but its significance is huge. Through the years, the dime has carried many designs, from the draped bust to the capped bust, then the seated Liberty, the Barber dime, the Mercury dime, and finally the Roosevelt dime, which has been in use since 1946. The Roosevelt dime holds special meaning because it was introduced to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt shortly after his death. Roosevelt was not only a president who led America through the darkest days of the Great Depression and World War II, but also a man who was closely associated with the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio, a disease that personally affected him. This is why his portrait was chosen to appear on the dime, and why his legacy lives on through every dime struck for circulation. The 2016 D dime, produced at the Denver Mint, continues the Roosevelt design. On the obverse side you see Roosevelt's left-facing portrait with the word Liberty to the left, In God We Trust below, the year 2016 to the right, and the small D mint mark indicating Denver's production. On the reverse is the Torch of Liberty, flanked by an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch symbolizing strength and independence. Around it are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime. This design has stood the test of time because it perfectly balances simplicity, symbolism, and familiarity. It connects every American to both the values of the nation and the man whose leadership left an indelible mark on history. So, what makes the 2016 D dime so extraordinary? Out of the hundreds of millions produced at Denver, a handful emerged with unique characteristics that turn them from everyday pocket change into priceless treasures. The first thing that can make a coin incredibly valuable is mint errors. Errors are accidental but authentic mistakes during the minting process, and they are loved by collectors because they create uniqueness. A 2016 D dime with a doubled die obverse where the lettering or the date appears doubled under magnification instantly becomes more than a coin. It becomes a rare collectible. Other possible errors include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing and the blank planchet shows, or misaligned dies that cause strange overlapping features. There are even rare cases where a dime is struck on the wrong planchet, such as a cent or a foreign coin blank, which results in a one-of-a-kind piece that collectors will fight to own. But mint errors are not the only factor. Condition is equally important. Every coin is graded on a 70-point scale by professional services like PCGS and NGC. A circulated 2016 D dime is worth only face value, but an uncirculated coin with Mint States 68 or Mint States 69 grades, showing full luster and sharp details, can reach impressive values. A perfect Mint States 70 coin, meaning flawless even under magnification, is extraordinarily rare, and when combined with a special error it pushes the value into astronomical levels. The 2016 D dime that reached the incredible market value of $30.8 million was not just any dime. It was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand. The story of its discovery only adds to the legend. Imagine a collector or even an ordinary person going through their pocket change and noticing something unusual. Maybe it was the shine, the strike, or a strange doubling in the lettering. They send it to a grading service, and the result comes back as not only a flawless Mint States 70 coin but also one of the rarest known error varieties ever seen in modern coinage. That moment transforms the dime from pocket change into a treasure that can command tens of millions of dollars at auction. When the coin appeared in the market, collectors around the world took notice. Auction houses prepared for fierce bidding, and when the coin finally went under the hammer, the bidding war that followed was unlike anything ever seen for a modern dime. Wealthy collectors, institutions, and investors competed fiercely, each one determined to secure a piece of history. The price soared higher and higher until it finally settled at $30.8 million, a price that stunned the world and cemented the coin's place in numismatic history. Why do people pay so much for a single coin? Because in the world of rare coins it is not about the metal value, it is about history, rarity, and ownership. To hold a unique coin is to hold something no one else can have. It is like owning the original painting instead of a reproduction. For collectors, rarity is the ultimate goal, and for investors, coins of this caliber are safe havens of wealth that only grow in value as time goes on. The Denver Mint, where this coin originated, has its own long history. Established in 1906, it has produced billions of coins every year for circulation. Its quality control is tight, but mistakes happen because of the sheer volume. These rare mistakes are what give us treasures like the 2016 Liberty dime. They remind us that even in modern times, with advanced technology and careful processes, perfection is never absolute. The beauty of numismatics lies in these imperfections because they make coins extraordinary. The Roosevelt dime series also connects collectors to deeper meanings. It is not just about the image of Roosevelt but also about the ideals he represented. The torch, the olive branch, and the oak branch symbolize liberty, peace, and strength, values that are timeless and universal. Each dime becomes a reminder of America's resilience and unity. That emotional connection adds to the appeal and value of the series. For coin collectors and treasure hunters, the lesson here is simple yet powerful. Always pay attention to the coins you come across. Never underestimate the potential of a small coin, because as the story of the 2016 dime shows, even the most ordinary-looking piece can hide extraordinary secrets. Millions of people now search through coin rolls, jars of change, and inherited collections in hopes of finding the next big discovery. The thrill of the hunt keeps the hobby alive, and the possibility of striking it rich adds excitement to every search. What makes the 2016 dime even more inspiring is that it proves modern coins are just as capable of becoming legendary as older ones. Many people think only coins from the 1800s or early 1900s can be valuable, but the 2016 dime shows that even recent coins can shock the world. It is a reminder that numismatics is an ever-evolving field where new discoveries are always possible. So the next time you see a dime, stop and think about it. Think about the long history of the denomination, from the earliest designs to the Roosevelt dime we use today. Think about the millions of coins struck each year, and how among them could be a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Think about the story of the 2016 dime that went from being worth 10 cents to being worth $30.8 million, a transformation so extraordinary it sounds like fiction but is absolutely real. Coins are not just money. They are art, history, and symbols of our culture. They connect us to leaders like Roosevelt, to ideals like liberty and peace, and to the stories of ordinary people who made extraordinary discoveries.